Yeah,
Uh-huh.
very cool. It is. Very cool.
Hi there, I am Tracee Dunblazier, and I am here on behalf of the Coalition of Visionary Resources. We are the trade organization that supports the mind, body, spirit industry. And we do that by providing education, hands-on advice, member discounts, and targeted networking to the people in our industry so that they may support all those that the mind, body, spirit industry supports. Today is the maiden voyage of what I'm going to call Cover Chats. And it's a miniature podcast to really start to get to know our cover membership. Today, we have a magnificent organization called BINC. They are the Book Industry Charitable Foundation, and they do some really important work. And today I've got the executive director, Pam French.
Hi there.
Hi, Pam. Nice to see you. And we have the communications coordinator, Kate Weiss. Hi,
Hello.
Kate. Really good to see you. Just so you know, just the people out there, there's a little bit of delay going back and forth between us. So just know that. There you have it. So one of the things that I was really touched by was this 1 in 5 booksellers has experienced a financial emergency in the last 2 years. That's a pretty powerful statistic. Can you tell me a little more about that and your organization?
Well, thank you so much for having us. This is also our first time on, well, I guess it's maybe our second time on Facebook Live. So we appreciate you having us. And yeah, we do a survey of booksellers, bookstore employees across the entire nation every 2 years. And with that survey data, we determine if there are any trends in financial assistance needs, where the foundation might expand their services. And from the survey we most recently did, that's where we got the data that 1 in 5 booksellers came and said they had a need in the previous 2 years. So that information continues to be very compelling for us, and also the reason that we want to talk to everybody who is working in a bookshop so that they can find out about the foundation as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. I mean, I know that when books, I've heard and I've seen a lot most recently that there's been a much big surge in people spending more time at bookstores and libraries and purchasing rather than online, going into brick and mortar stores. But they, with the whole onset of online over the last couple of decades, there's been a whole change in how this industry has been running. So it's a powerful experience for people to be in a situation where they don't have what they need, or they don't have what their store needs in order to continue to run. So how do you determine, like, how does a person determine whether or not they need you?
Well, the absolute best way is, if somebody is struggling and they have a question, is honestly to give us a call. Or to, we have on our website, bincfoundation.org, we have an inquiry form if they want to do it that way as well, and have a conversation with us, because oftentimes, as our development director says, picking up the phone and making that phone call is the hardest call you're going to make, because the people we work with, they are employed. They often have 1, maybe 2 jobs, and they're not expecting to need assistance. So when you find yourself in a situation that's an emergency, anything from major medical to death in your family, dental care, we have just a variety of things that we help with. Domestic violence help. That is it's a hard thing to do, is to pick up the phone and ask for help. So we understand that. Myself, Kate and our programs manager, Kit, we're the ones that are going to be answering that phone, and making sure that we talk to folks and understand their situation, because it's unique to everybody. Everybody's situation is unique as well.
Right, right. Kate, tell me a little bit. You're kind of the interface between the outside world and the company on a lot of levels. Tell me about how you do your work at BINC.
Sure. As the communications coordinator, I do the social media and our newsletter, and we just redid the website, which was my big project last year. Where we were really trying to help our donors and people who aren't familiar with the foundation really understand and get an idea of the people that we help. They're booksellers, you know, your local independent bookstore or Barnes and Noble, or those are the folks that are coming to us during an emergency. So really wanted, in our communications, we try and remember that, and always keep books and a love of books at the top of mind. We're all big readers in the office, and a lot of our backgrounds are from the independent bookstores and bookstores. So that's a big part of my job as communications coordinator here at BINC.
Okay, wonderful. And so what constitutes an emergency? From like, give me a range of emergency situations that somebody can come across that would lead them to you.
Mm-hmm. You want? I'll start out, and Kate, you can jump in as well. So, the number one event that brings folks to the foundation is serious medical. And this is anything from, like today, it's snowing in Michigan, and you might walk outside and slip and fall, break your leg, twist your knee, to treatment for cancer. It doesn't matter. The majority of individuals we help with serious medical, they do have insurance, but there's additional costs, deductibles, and we help with that. We help with dental as well. We help with those types of emergencies that can really just cause somebody's entire day to be upset and not be able to do their job, interact with their community and their local community. Just working with a couple of individuals recently that had a death in the family, and that's an emotional situation for the entire family. And so being able to help them through that so that they can really focus and heal on their situation versus on figuring out how they're going to pay for that expense. That's another way that we help. Kate, what else comes to your mind?
Another area of our programs is natural disaster assistance. So during the California wildfires, booksellers were having to leave their homes with just the clothes on their back. And when you don't have that personal financial safety net, you know, you have no way to buy diapers and medicine, you know, diapers for your children and medicine and food. So in those circumstances, we are very nimble and responsive, and we will get assistance to those booksellers very quickly so that they know that they can meet those basic needs. And then when they come back home, they're able to stock their fridge and pay their rent, because if you miss a week or two of work, you know, that can cause a real hardship when you don't have the savings to cover that.
Absolutely. And if I'm a person that needs assistance, how do I go about applying for it?
Certainly one of the best ways is to give us a call. We can, and I'm reaching for the toll-free number, and of course it's not in front of me right now, but
it's 866-733-9064. Call us.
Thank you, Kate, very much.
Great.
or our website.
And you can also go to,
Yep, you got it. You
yep,
got it.
that was what I was going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
The BINC Foundation, which is BINC Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. So that's the BINC Foundation.org. Should anybody out there need this kind of a service, they're there for you. Okay, so now I want to get to a little bit of how we'll start with you, Pam. How did you end up as the executive director of BINC? Like, how did you get into this industry?
Wow, great. I have to go back a ways. So, right out of college, 1986, I started working in a Walden bookstore and was a manager in training. And from there, had a 23-year career in selling books between Walden Books and Borders. So that's really my, kind of like Kate said, my first love, being able to put books in the hands of your customers that are coming in that you know want that, being a community resource. And then from there, the foundation started with Borders employees. They created the foundation in 1996. So the kind of jump from Borders to BINC was pretty close, just kind of across the hallway. And I wanted to continue my my connection with the book industry and my love for books and all things book people. And this is really a way that I've been able to keep in contact with the book people as well. So yeah, that's kind of a nutshell.
Wonderful. Kate, I want to hear what you have to say, but I have a comment here or a question from a listener today, which is, do you offer assistance to authors, online media producers, editors and publishers, etc.? Or is it just booksellers?
We are only able right now this time to provide assistance to booksellers that work in bricks and mortar stores. So can be part-time or full-time or owner, but you need to work in a bricks and mortar bookshop. Yep.
Okay, good. Well, great. Thank you. And thank you, Stephen, for asking that question. Now, Kate, how did you end up in this business?
Similar to Pam, I got my start in book selling. I walked into an independent bookstore in my neighborhood with a list of all the books I'd read since 10th grade, and I said I want a job. and that was,
I love it.
That was, I think, 12 or 13 years ago, and I've been working in books and with book people ever since.
Wow. So my final question for you, both of you ladies, is what is your favorite genre and your favorite book that comes to mind? Pam, we'll start with you.
Genre. You know, I do love absolutely good mystery as well. That's kind of my comfort books to go to. Love a great series of mystery books. And I have, I'm just trying to think, one of my all-time favorite books, though, is not on the fiction side. It's on the nonfiction side, and it's called The Feather Thief. And it's a story of how making flies and feathers, needing feathers for fly fishing kind of got out of control. It's just a very engrossing story. So I'd recommend that to anyone.
That is so interesting. Thank you. How about you, Kate?
I'm grabbing a visual reference. I read a lot of nonfiction too. I'm really into sewing and garment making, and this book was wonderful, Mend and Patch, about repairing your clothes and repairing textiles. It's a wonderful reference book. That's one I just finished and was next to me. I read very widely. I think I credit science fiction and fantasy with really making me a reader when I was a kid, and now I try and read across all genres.
Wow. Well, thank you. It has been such a pleasure to talk to both of you today. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll look forward to further communications over the next life, continuing forward. And all of you who are watching from Cover, if you're part of our membership, we'd love to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us today and spending a few of your minutes with the Coalition of Visionary Resources and me, Tracee Dunblazier. Thank you.